If you're someone in need of an organ transplant, please visit matchingdonors.com.
Wake up to the latest news, weather, sports, traffic, and so much more.
Okay. Now we are. How we are. Good morning,
Morning,
everybody.
everybody. This is News Radio 94.9, 890 KDXU. It is, it's Thursday, and that can mean just one thing. That means Jeremy Larkin and Jesse Paul are here to talk real estate.
It's the only one thing it could mean.
That's what it means.
I love that. I love that. I just had to test you. I liked it. Because our listeners are like, well, it can mean a lot of things. It could mean we're one day from the weekend.
Not in St. George.
You know? What do you mean?
In St. George, it always means Jeremy Larkin.
Oh, man, you're good. You guys are good, Andy.
It's anonymous. Thursday, Jeremy.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Happy to have you guys. Happy to be here. Jeremy Larkin, host of the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive. Happy Thursday, since it could only mean one thing. I love that you say that. That's why I just had to kind of smile about it. I do want to talk about an important piece of news. Probably most important thing that's happened in the last 24 hours was the brawl that broke out at Denny's at 1008. Yeah, the brawl that the brawl that broke out at Denny's. This is really great stuff. I have to say. So this is at the North Denny's, and it's so funny. A friend of mine responded on Facebook.
That's the rowdy one, by the way. Back in the day, that's where you went to get in trouble.
Just off the bar here.
It is. Oh, hang on a second. Jesse, I gotta make sure this is live.
He left.
It is
Okay,
live.
it's working.
It is live.
It was not working on my side. So this is pretty fun. All right. So 3 a.m. because it wouldn't happen at 3 p.m. because at 3 p.m. was the senior special going on. Okay.
That's right. Dinner.
So apparently it kind of goes down like this.
I don't know. Some of them old guys, they get pretty feisty.
Not to a brawl. What are you talking about?
They might swing their cane at you.
Oh my gosh.
We just got a call last week. A guy moved into his house. The neighbor attacked him.
Oh, this
Don't
is
tell me that doesn't happen in the senior neighborhood.
Oh, this is classic. So how come I don't know about this? I've never heard this story.
You've been busy. We haven't talked to you.
You haven't said one word. You haven't said it at team huddle. You
It
haven't said
wasn't
it.
me. It was
Okay.
Jeff's.
There you
Run
go.
them over with a scooter or what?
I don't know what.
Okay, wait. Let's pause Denny's. What is this about? What are you
This
talking
guy
about?
called. They got in a fight over a pet, but the guy assaulted him. And he called, and I mean he's calmed down now, and he decided he's not going to move. But he just bought the house.
Which neighborhood?
The Ledges. It was funny. Like, I couldn't believe it.
The Ledges. Okay, I know you guys were all thinking he was going to say something else,
Yeah.
but he said the Ledges.
But they were
This is
both in
high
their
end.
60s. I'm just saying it happens.
Okay,
We all go crazy.
that is incredible.
There were
I have
fisticuffs.
Listen, I have no idea.
I wasn't there. I don't know.
I had no idea that happened. Jeff has not said a word to me. The St. George Police Department was called to an early morning brawl at Denny's Saturday morning. Now, here's the deal. Well, you talked about that. See, when I was a kid, you could openly smoke at that Denny's.
Yeah,
That's right.
You know.
I do. Because I used to be a
He
smoker.
used to smoke a
and
lot of
that's what we
cigarettes in
used
the
to
Denny's.
do. We used to go for coffee and smoke.
At 3 in the morning.
In the 90s.
And start fights.
This is incredible.
Well, I've never been a fighter.
Is this amazing? Now, when you read this, it's just too good. All on-duty officers and a Washington County Sheriff's deputy were somebody's got. You have music coming. You need to mute that. I can hear me echoing into your laptop.
It's off.
Okay. All on-duty officers and a Washington County Sheriff's deputy were dispatched to the location. This is really. I mean, I love just. I'm going to set it up by pausing a little bit. Where 15 to 20 patrons and employees were involved in a mass brawl. When law enforcement arrived, there were people fighting inside and some diners preparing to leave. Yeah, only because they were done and they'd had their meal. I mean, that was the only reason they would leave. Which is when officers made contact. The majority, this quote right here, Tiffany Atkin made this comment. Yeah, from St. George SGPD, some of St. George's finest. The majority of them were actively fighting, were trying to break up the fighting. Most of them were involved somehow in the incident. Like everybody in there is in the fight. Incredible. Now, the funny part is,
Too bad there's not video.
it's like a,
Those videos are the funny.
There might be.
Yeah, I guarantee there is. We got to find it. So these guys, I wouldn't want to mess with these guys, and I will not name them by name because they'll come after
They
me.
are big boys.
They are big boys. And you know how it started? Did you hear how it started?
Somebody threw a sausage at somebody?
Yeah, that's what you'd think.
They
I
looked
quote,
at each other.
they didn't like the way the other guy looked at him.
They looked at the other table.
Hey, stop looking at me, Jesse. Stop it. Stop it.
Telling you.
Yeah, this is awesome. So you know, they talk about, I'm just here for the comments. I mean, the commentary on Facebook, the one that came out on St. George News, is so great.
Oh, I bet.
And this one guy said, I wish I could, I can't remember now what his name was. Somebody, because somebody made the foolish comment, well, if we had a nightlife, this wouldn't happen.
Oh, it would happen actually more.
Correct.
Have you ever seen a bar fight?
Yeah, correct, right? Where everyone's drunk. At least they were sober, theoretically. But this guy responded, he said, well, in whatever Washington, where I grew up, the Denny's was actually connected to the bar, no joke. So good. Okay.
All right.
All right. I hope you guys, anybody who saw that, chime in on Facebook
Actually,
Live.
I did say
Give us a
I'm not
thumbs up.
fighter,
Give us a
but
happy, smiley face.
I did invite somebody over to my house to fight on Saturday morning. These
Yeah.
guys, this fraudulent call came in that was the St. George Police Department to my wife telling her that she had a mobile warrant. And she said, well, let me call my attorney. Well, ma'am, that's a felony. We're just going to come and get you right now. So I called them back. And
Who are these people?
well, and I just, why don't you guys just come on over? Because first I called the St. George Police Department. Because, you know, they sounded pretty legitimate. And using the correct names and everything. And they said, well, there's really nothing we can do. We can't really track them down. So I called them back. And I just invited them over. I said, you guys come on over. Let's just meet in my front yard.
Oh, that's excellent. And
Wow.
what'd they say about that?
They hung up on me.
I got a call from Bob yesterday.
I wouldn't have messed with you either, Jesse. What did Bob have to say?
Well, Bob went, hello, my name is Bob. And I thought, your name's not Bob.
I love that.
So I
Man,
started,
that makes me happy.
I started yelling at him in Spanish. I have a limited Spanish vocabulary, but enough to scare Bob away.
Well, I'm sure because, yeah, I hear you. You know what I mean? I get you.
Yeah.
Well, it is a fun time. Okay, guys, it's a good time out there. If anyone was involved in the Denny's brawl, please call in 673-5890. Please,
To him right now?
please. If
That would be
anyone
fun.
was actually involved, I would want to know. Okay, I'd want to know. Anyway, if you're watching this Facebook Live, good morning. Jeremy Larkin here, host of the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive, clearly talking about real estate. And you know, people, and then I saw this comment, yeah, we're becoming like Vegas. Actually, we're not. But this goes back to we're becoming like LA from a few weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely more violence and more problems and more drugs. I get it, but it's not Las Vegas.
That's actually an understatement.
Yeah, let's not.
There's more.
Yeah, there's more. So that's going to happen, and we cannot lock the door behind us. But hey, we still live in the most beautiful place on the planet. I want to talk about 10,000 new homes. 10,000 new homes. So I said, in the last couple of years on this radio program, said that I didn't think that Desert Color was actually going to happen. Desert Color is that huge project that a lot of people aren't even noticing because it's not, when you drive out of town south, it's not front and center. So it's at the exit 2, Sun River exit, but not the Sun River side, the east side on your way to the airport. This is the 10,000 home development that they talked about a year ago that was going to have this big lagoon, 2.5 acre lagoon.
Yeah, like kind of thing. Yeah.
I was there yesterday. They held a big realtor event. I went by. I was there 20 minutes, long enough to get a corn dog. I mean, I really like in and out, grabbed some brochures, shot a quick video. It's happening. I mean, boy, is it happening. There
And
are
the lagoon.
dozens of homes. The lagoon was being shaped while I was standing there shooting a video. I gotta say, I'm kind of surprised. Like I'm really impressed. 10,000 homes.
That's what you gotta love about Jeremy, because he was on Facebook yesterday. When he's wrong, he at least says he's wrong. He shouted out to the world.
Title of the video is I
was
said
wrong.
this would never happen.
The lagoon part.
Let me tell you what we got going on here. So there's all these different home types. So let me tell you who's building out there. AJ Construction. You know, he's a local guy. Carefree Homes, huge out of Texas. C. Blake, Carrie Blake, love Carrie Blake, local. Cole West, Northern Utah. Holmes Homes, Northern Utah. Spencer White Homes, don't know Spencer or anyone named Mr. White. Remember, TV reference. Sullivan Homes, good guys, local. Visionary Homes, never heard of them in my life. So here's what they have going on out there. They've got resort properties from the mid 300s, attached or townhomes from the 200s, single family homes, from the 300s, custom homes, AJ Construction and C. Blake at this point, 500 plus, and active adult 55 plus. So they're doing a little bit of everything out there, and it's pretty mesmerizing, man. Like, wow. I'm talking, I was really, really surprised at this place. Have you driven out there, Andy?
Yeah, well, not recently, about 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think about, it's kind of a little bit of a disconnect from the actual proper St. George proper. I'm wondering if eventually we're going to have maybe its own community, a corporation.
That's the plan.
Yeah, I think it's going to look and feel that way, and maybe it will be its own community. They talked about water, and they had some, because everyone's going to say and ask, and that's valid, where's the water coming from? Let me read a couple things from you. So Desert Color will use 40% less drinking water than other developments in Washington County. I'm like, how? Are you just going to tell those people they don't drink much?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Listen, you know the 8 glasses a day? The Surgeon General was wrong. Just do 8, 6.
Well, there's actually a lot of ways they can do that.
Yeah, so let me talk about this. Land use. Desert Color has multiple parks and recreational amenities to consolidate integrated lands rather than have large individual private yards. Landscaping. Desert Color is implementing development-wide xeriscaping standard. Xeriscaping is very little to no grass.
Yeah.
Vegetation with natural plants that don't use much water and like the desert. Vegetation. Desert Color's water-wise vegetation plan includes soil amendments to facilitate effective drainage and to leach secondary salty water. You got to get, this is Ron Thompson stuff. And secondary water system. Desert Color will design and build a development-wide secondary water distribution system, the largest comprehensive secondary system for a private development in Washington County. So I'm not going to try and explain this all away. It's just, that's what they're doing out there. I think it's pretty dang cool. I didn't think so. But I also thought that this Desert Canyons wasn't going to get traction, which is out there by the airport, right? And it's blowing up.
And my son lives there.
Does he really?
Yeah.
How's it? You've been out there, obviously. Like your son, you're still on speaking terms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Good. So, do you like it? You go out there and you see his place. Is it cool?
Yeah, the only issue I have is it's a ways out there. It takes 25 minutes to get from my house to his house. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. It is pretty cool. I like it, and I love that big mountain behind, right on the Arizona Strip. They talked about why a water feature. This is something I want to share on Desert Color. Water features can be more efficient and environmentally friendly when it comes to chemicals and energy use and filtration. It can be used as secondary water storage facility, right? Where's the water coming from? That's the big question. Desert Color owns its own water shares. The water is brackish. You have to look that up. Not like the show Blackish. Very funny. Brackish. And not fit as culinary drinking water, but can be, it's interesting, can be processed and stored in a water retention system for multiple uses. How much water will it use/lose in evaporation? A 12-acre pond, 12 acre, I don't know if there was 2 acres for this lagoon. I guess the pond is different than the lagoon. Will hold 31 million gallons, according to a study issued by St. George Water Services Department, and will evaporate 11% less water than if the same area were used as turf grass. That's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
So
less water.
Yeah, so it will evaporate less than if it were grass.
Interesting.
Huh. Grass uses, guys, so much water.
Mm-hmm.
It's just mind-boggling. What are you checking out here?
Brackish.
What is it? What's
brackish is water slightly salty, as in a mixture of river water and seawater in estuaries.
Yeah,
So,
like don't take your
bit of
water bottle and fill up on it.
right.
So, there you go. There you have it. So, Desert Color, you can check that out. I think it's just desertcolor.com, right? That sound like something we'd say? Desertcolor.com. Yeah. There you go.
That's
Reserve your home
easy to
today.
remember.
Homes are now selling in the Auburn Hills neighborhood. I drove around. It is really cool. It feels a little discombobulated, a little disjointed, because you have this huge area with different builders and little pods.
Yeah.
But give it some time.
Where's this?
Give
Auburn
it a
Hills?
year and you'll.
Well, they're called. It's funny. They're saying Auburn Hills, but they have like an Auburn Hills there inside this place.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens out there, but I think it's gonna be pretty dang cool. All right, Jesse, we've talked about 10,000 new homes. We've talked about a brawl at Denny's. Again, anyone who was involved in the brawl, 673-5890. I would have loved that phone call this morning. It would have made my day just to know exactly what went down. If somebody knows about a video, any video footage of this brawl, please, for Pete's sake. My mother always, Pete's sake, and I had a cat named Pete growing up.
Go find Jeremy's
Yeah,
live
Jeremy,
video and post it on.
Facebook.com/Jeremy Larkin. Comment and link that. It's probably an Instagram video.
Jeremy has visions of pancake pups hitting somebody right between
Oh
the
my
eye
gosh.
and
Yeah, I
flying
do.
through the air.
I went up there a couple months ago. We ate. It's interesting because owned by some really, really great people own the Denny's franchises down here.
Did I?
And poor Wes, I'm sure he's like, man, I just got in the news now for a brawl in my dining room.
You know where they put the guys that started the fight, right? They're in the Grand Slammer.
I like it. But I see what you did there.
Dad joke.
Dad joke. Jesse, let's talk about the actual real estate market, which we just did. There's a lot going on, isn't there?
There is.
You sent me an email this morning. I was checking that out. It's kind of fun. We have access, just so you know, all right? Any agent in town, real estate agent that is, can get a license. They can take 120 hours of schooling and pay $600 and get a key to open homes up for you, right? Jesse, am I with
That's true.
the days here?
That is true.
What we're trying to do here on the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive is something a little bit beyond that, which is actually come to you kind of in an expert advisory role and share with you data. And we spend a lot of time and a lot of money. Money does do great things to pull together data that will make you the smartest kid on your block. That's what we like to say, right? Smartest kid on your block, smartest homeowner, home buyer, and I think people like. I appreciate you listening. We're grateful for your following us and listening in, and we want to keep delivering value, right? So let's talk about. So we get this report every month from Keeping Current Matters. It's a fantastic economic firm. They take all sorts of data, Andy, and they make it so you can so a human being running a regular life can look at it, okay? And help us understand what in the world is going on here. And it's a pretty odd market because, Jesse, some people feel like the market is incredible, and some people feel like it's not a very good market at all.
That's true.
What is the group of people that have gotten a bad taste in their mouth that think the market isn't as good as they had hoped it was?
The people that, to be specific, it's actually probably sellers that when they started thinking about selling their home, they were comparing their pricing to everybody that was active on the market or homes that weren't sold yet. So they went, oh, well, ours is better than that. We'll just price it at this. The problem with that is it's not comparing the whole market. So they get a little bit disjointed when they don't get what they think that where the market
And
was.
we talked about this a little bit before. It's home sellers who tried to sell their home and it didn't go well. And then they get really frustrated and they come back and say, I thought this was a good market. All of the data proves it's a good market, proves it's an incredible market. Up to $500,000 price point, we still have, per the numbers, low inventory. Isn't that amazing? Up to 500 grand. Before it was like up to 200, then it was up to 300, then it was up to 400, and now the prices have gone up to $500,000. There's still low inventory.
There is, but what's interesting is we are seeing a shift in buyer mentality or buyer behavior, because even though it's still an incredible market, we are actually seeing less percentage of offers. So, and what I mean by that is last year at this time, we could almost expect 98.5, 99% offers that come in. Now we're seeing that to be lower. So this year we've got to be more precise with our pricing.
What do you mean by 95 to 95%
So
offers?
if you're at 200,000, the offers last year would probably come in 99% of that.
Yeah.
Or asking.
Or right at 200,000.
This year, even when we're priced correctly and having tons of showing, we're seeing them come in lower and we're having to counter. So that's a different behavior than we've been in for probably 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. This is absolutely right. And remember this: if I had told you 10 years ago in 2010, hey, in 2020, you're going to be able to sell your home. We're going to be able to sell your $200,000 home for $350,000.
Right.
You would have said, no way, man. The market's still going down. We just had this big collapse.
Yep.
There's no way, because values fell all the way into 2011. You would have said, no way. 5 years ago, if I told you that your $300,000, if I had said you can sell your $300,000 home for $350,000, you would have said, how quick can I sign up?
Sure.
But here's what's happened. Now that your home is $350,000 and you're hoping for $375,000, and you know the rest of this, now people are disappointed.
Right.
Because this is all about expectations and perceptions versus reality. Right? So we have some data here. Jesse, just a few slides in, it talks about month supply of inventory is decreasing. This is nationally. Okay, it says the number of months of supply, okay, of unsold inventory. Unsold inventory is very simple. Just the homes that aren't sold, is actually decreasing.
Yep.
A year ago there was 4 months. Last month there was 3.9 months. And at the date of this report a week ago, there's only 3.7 months, and that's nationally.
Right. So if you look at that locally, we're actually seeing the same thing. So we went through it yesterday. We're actually seeing this year more pending listings. So that obviously means less active listings, right?
Yep.
So it's really interesting that we're seeing less inventory, but the buyer behavior is still acting the way it
Correct.
is. So
Correct.
that's going to be interesting to see where that goes.
Correct.
And how that turns.
So Marcus Green came in.
Yep.
I have multiple things pulled up here. Jesse just has to follow along because we do not prep. We don't say, hey, we're going to do these slides when we come to the show.
Yeah, we have to.
When
be
we
really
walk
on
in
our
here,
feet.
guys, there could be a brawl. You know, there could be a brawl at Denny's right now. There could be a brawl in the studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have them both pulled up too.
So first slide that Marcus shared. Marcus Green is one of the owners of our Keller Williams Realty franchise. Keller Williams Realty, just for fun, is the largest real estate franchise in North America, 160,000 agents. We're the biggest in Utah, number one selling in Utah. We have some good data. Affordability, here's the client beliefs right now. Clients believe, meaning you, buyers out there in the market and sellers, we're in another housing bubble. I'll wait until home prices come down and I can't afford a home anymore. Think about that. Those are the beliefs in the market.
They really are.
Yeah, we're in another bubble. I'll wait until prices come down and I can't afford a home anymore, right? Now, my question for folks out there is, when you tried to forecast the market in the past, how did that work out for you? Well, it didn't work out well for almost anybody, right? The people who really won on thinking they could forecast it are just people who had millions of dollars.
Yeah.
You know, well, Warren Buffett he's Warren Buffett. Of course he did. He had
Well,
billions of dollars in cash.
Well, not only did he have billions of dollars in cash, he really went deep with research.
Yeah.
So most of us don't do that. We react on maybe 5 minutes of research and then make a judgment.
Correct.
That's not true for people like that. Like they really know what they're talking about.
Yep, they do.
They know the effect that the interest rates goes up. They know the effect that the prices drop or raise. They know every part about it.
They do. They really do. And you know, there's a big group of people coming into the market right now, millennials. It's the largest home buying population. Hey, we got Mary Nelson coming and trying to sneak in our day. Come on, man.
You know what's interesting is actually in Washington County, our largest, people would think that would be seniors. That's actually not true. Our largest buyer pool is actually millennials.
1 minute. Yeah, 1 minute left. So here's what I have to say.
Oh, I
folks.
thought he was telling you have a caller.
Here's what I have to say. No, I was hoping that was one of the brawlers.
Yeah, me
Guys,
too.
as millennials, great quote here from Realtor.com. As millennials embrace homeownership and take advantage of this year's unexpectedly low mortgage rates, okay, it is going to make this market keep going.
I think so.
Here's the bottom line. Nationally, historically, it's actually still affordable, and we can in future shows talk through that. If you're thinking about buying a home, if you're thinking about selling a home, a recession does not mean a housing market contraction or collapse this
Not
year.
at all. Yeah.
Visit us at soldinstgeorge.com, soldinstgeorge.com, and many thanks, by the way, to our great sponsor, Sunwood Homes. Our guys that work with them. You can
Thanks,
see
guys.
them at mysunwoodhomes.com.